There we go. That's much better. Hello there. How's everyone doing today? Happy Saturday. I wanted to take a few moments. I have this room all to myself. I am at a leadership training for Toastmasters in Orlando. I don't know if any of you know about Toastmasters. Um, oh, you did? Did you finish it last night? She said she stayed up late to read my book. That's awesome. Great. I am so happy. I'm so happy. Great. Don't forget to go to the Amazon site where you purchased the book, and please leave me your thoughts and reviews. I would greatly appreciate it. That helps to get the word out about the book. For those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Marjorie Phoenix, the author of the book, Who the Hell Do You Think You Are? And I share my story of going from an upper middle class stay-at-home mom to becoming homeless and penniless in 24 hours. And oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. You and I must connect outside of Periscope. I'd love to hear about your blog and what you're doing and how I can support you with that. Um, and I'm also the founder of the Forgotten Women's Project, which is an organization where we help survivors of domestic abuse and their children using holistic therapies and the arts. And like I was saying today, I am in the Orlando area for a leadership and communications training. I serve as VP of Public Relations for my Toastmasters Club. This is my second term. And I love this. I love being able to come here and get additional training to build up on my leadership skills. And if you've not heard of Toastmasters or have heard about it and thought about maybe joining to help you with presentation skills or just public speaking, I highly recommend it. I have been in it long enough to where I have competed at the district level in public speaking and won several awards and competitions. So it's really built my self-confidence and given me the ability to go out and speak about my book and my business and my nonprofit organization. So I would definitely recommend that to you. But I wanted to speak quickly before another group of folks come in this room about letting go. And you know, that whole thing about holding on to emotions, there are a lot of times when we have gone through some things, we seem to hold on to these negative emotions. And I've met many women that it's been years since their divorce. It's been years since the relationship has ended. And yet they're still holding on. They're still holding on to that pain. They're still holding on to the story. And I always ask them, what are you getting by holding on to this? Like, how is this really serving you in the end? I mean, you can look at your life and you can already see the negative effects of holding on to these negative emotions and holding on to that story. So why would you want to hold on to it? And there's this whole thing about, well, I can't help it. It's, you know, it's just there. I can't seem to go past it. And it is there. It is. But why are you paying attention to it? And this is why I believe in self-love, self-care, self-healing, and the whole idea of developing rituals in your life so that you can create a sense of security around you and let go. Now, to even say let go, I don't even know if you can let go as much as the emotions will be released. And I believe in feeling what you feel, you know, not being afraid to step into it, acknowledging things. But I also believe in not spending a lot of time in that space. Okay, so I believe eventually, and I know this from my own experience and other women who have been able to outgrow their pain, that they have been able to take the time to, you know, sit in it, recognize it, acknowledge it, and then move beyond it. And one of the things that I had to ask myself when I used to sit in that pity party all the time of what had happened to me and why everything that was happening in my life that wasn't good, or if my life wasn't moving forward, I could easily just blame it on my ex-husband because look at what he did to me, right? But the question was, how does this serve you in the end, Marjorie? How does this really serve you? And as I really got honest with myself, part of it was having people rescue me in a way. And even, you know, on a subconscious level, I mean, I didn't want that. I didn't want people always coming and giving me things and rescuing me. But there was a level of comfort in that kept me going to. And what we tend to do is when we have people in our lives that are always rescuing us, you know, it's almost like a child. When a child has a temper tantrum, when a child, you know, has these meltdowns, and the parent takes the child and is comforting, 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 it's all right, it's all right. Then they feel like it's all right to always have that meltdown and always have that temper tantrum, and not teaching that child how to acknowledge what their feelings are and talk them out of it and move them beyond it. And so sometimes people around us can enable us in those feelings and we don't get to grow. So what I want you to really think about is if you find yourself in a space where you know that you keep going there, and I know things can trigger us, things will trigger us. But when you can get to the point where, okay, I see what's going on here, acknowledge that, you can go a little deeper. Hey, Vanessa, thanks for dropping in. You know, yes, it has been a long time. Thank you for coming on. You know, and you can acknowledge that, then you can get to the root of that and see what triggered it, what caused it, and be aware of those things. You know, we don't have to walk around constantly anxious, confused, sad, depressed. That does something to us, you know, spiritually, it does something to us physically and emotionally. And that's where I want women to get out of. I want them to get out of this programmed of habitual emotional distress, okay? And the need of someone coming to rescue you, because no one is, okay? Now, that's why the retreat coming up in September is so important. That's why I want women to be a part of communities like that, to find a safe space where they can come in and be honest with themselves, be honest with others, and help grow. And there's no better place to do it than in a community of other women who have been through a similar journey. And so I want to invite you to go to my website at marjoriephoenix.com and find out more information about the New Beginnings Retreat coming up in September. And I am actually working on another one for the spring that I would like to have outside of the country in the Bahamas. So I'm really wanting to have more of these retreats because I see how effective it can be. And if you think that your community where you might live could use a retreat like this, that there are a few women that could use something like this, let me know and we can form a retreat in whatever area that you live in. I'd be happy to come out there and you know, and have a retreat and hold a retreat there for those women. So just remember that, you know, we don't have to live in the shame and the guilt and the anxiety and the confusion of our emotions. Don't let our emotions define us. Don't let our emotions lead us in our day-to-day behavior and how we look at ourselves and how we look at the world. There is so much more for us to do. And this, all of this pain and that experience that you have, I believe God will use it. But you will not figure out how until you can move from beyond the pain and suffering. Okay? So that's my word for you today. I hope that that has blessed you. Thank you so much for joining me as usual. Go out and change the world. All right. Bye-bye.